Hi YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Angelica here. If you're new, okay, no, we're gonna do that. Let's try that again. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Angelica here. If you're new, then come in, have a seat, have several seats. And if you're not new, thank you for having me once again all up on your screen. In this video, I'm going to be discussing how I landed 2 separate internships at BlackRock. So, if you don't know what BlackRock is the #1 asset management firm in the entire world, and the last time I checked it had over $6 trillion worth of assets under management. I can't even get my head around that. That's just like a lot of zeros. I interned at BlackRock for a total of 4 weeks and I was in the equities team, which was technically known as the fundamental active equities division, or not division but team, department, whatever you call it. The first time I interned at BlackRock, I did a 3-week paid internship, and the second time I went there on a spring week in my first year of university. The first one, I did it in 2017, and I was on a cohort of very incredible and talented 18-year-olds. It was a program called the Big City Bright Futures program, in which BlackRock is actually a founding member of, and it was such an incredible opportunity, like a bunch of 18-year-olds like making 4 figures and learning so much from such an incredible firm. Like, these opportunities rarely come by, and I actually know the man who pretty much started this program from scratch. He works at BlackRock and he's incredible at his work, so it's even more incredible that he's able to do this on the side. The application process for that 3-week internship pretty much involved me registering for the opportunity with Interuniversity. So I became an associate with Interuniversity, and then I went to an insight day, which you have to go to. So in this insight day, you get to speak to a lot of the partner firms which are on this Big City Bright Futures program. So firms like Goldman Sachs, Evercore, Simmons & Simmons, Weil, RBS. There are a few private equity firms which are now on this partnership with Interuniversity. So we got to go to that insight day and speak to people, ask them questions from whichever industry they're in, so we can get an understanding of what we might be interested in if we are successful. After the insight day is done, we had to fill out a form where we pretty much stated everything we learned about from the insight day, what we enjoyed the most, and then what we would be interested in. And then we also had to send our CV. And so once you send your CV, if they like your CV, then you can get shortlisted, as I did, to the next stage, which is the interview stage. My interview took place on the telephone because I was not in London, but I think if you are in London and if you can travel, then you are likely to have your interview in person, and you will most likely be interviewed by someone who works at one of the partner firms or someone from Interuniversity themselves. I was interviewed by someone from Interuniversity themselves, and they pretty much asked me a bunch of questions, competency based. So like, when was the time you displayed teamwork skills, or let me just move my chair up a little bit. Tell me about time you displayed communication skills, initiative, organisation. They also asked me some motivational questions, so about what I'm interested in and what makes me tick, what gets me excited, where do I see myself in 5 years. I remember being asked that and I was like, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years, but this is what my plan is. So then they also asked me about like where I would like to be matched, and I had already had some legal work experience. I did not want to be placed in a law firm because I was like, oh my god, I really just want to see like what is outside of my little bubble. So they matched me with BlackRock, and BlackRock does have a legal team, but even then I wasn't even put in the legal team, I was put in equities. And when I actually went on the internship, I learned so much, like technical skills. That was my first insight into finance, and I will always credit BlackRock for playing such an instrumental role in getting me to where I am and cultivating me into the woman that I am becoming. I credit BlackRock for so much. So on that internship, as I said before, it was paid, but BlackRock really went above and beyond to accommodate me. They literally did so much to welcome me. They catered to me for those weeks with like the schedules that they gave me, the sessions that they allowed me to go to. I had a mentor, I had a buddy. Those people came to speak to us about their lives and to learn about us. They taught me so many technical skills about investing. They taught me how to make a stock pitch, how to determine whether or not a stock is something you should buy or sell depending on so many different factors. And there was one very cool challenge which they gave me and a few other interns as well that were at the firm at the time. Pretty much like an investment challenge where we had to pretty much build an investment portfolio according to our specific client, and we had to adjust it according to various market scenarios. So the Trump election, Brexit, the junk rally, the oil crash. These are the scenarios that we had to pretty much like tailor our investment to. And so it taught me so much about volatility, it taught me so much about different asset classes. I learned so much technical skills, and honestly it was like I was just like gain. Like it was just take, like they literally just poured into us. So I completed that internship and I left with an incredible cohort of friends. They advised me to apply for the spring week in my first year, so I went ahead and applied for the spring week, and they gave me a code to put in my application to pretty much allow me to be flagged up in their system when they do look at my application. I don't know to what extent that helped me because I still had to go through the whole process of the spring week application anyway. For the spring week application process, I had to submit like an online form and give my CV. I think they asked me maybe 1 or 2 questions. I can't remember if they were like long questions. I think they asked me about like a market scenario. I'm pretty sure they probably did like a commercial awareness question, but I can't remember what it was. And then the next stage of that, I got shortlisted for the video interview, and then I don't know if I was shortlisted actually. I feel like it was automatic, but I don't remember. I had to do a video interview, and then after that I was shortlisted to go to the assessment centre, where I was interviewed by 2 separate individuals for what I believe was like 45 minutes each, or maybe even 2 hours. I can't remember anymore. I think it was an hour each, but those interviews were great. I love sounds so weird saying I love interviews, but I like interviews because I get to learn. Oh wait, who's messaging me? Who's that? I like interviews because I get to learn about the people and learn about the firm in ways that I would absolutely not have been able to just googling online. Ended up passing that stage, and then I did the spring week, and the spring week was 1 week long. So some spring weeks are longer even though it's called a spring week. For instance, Goldman Sachs spring internship was 2 weeks, so it was more of a longer experience. But I really loved BlackRock. Overall my 4 weeks was so incredible, and it's one of those things where like I see BlackRock as home. Like they've invited me back so many times. Even after that internship, they invited me for some personal development sessions where they hired speakers to come and like speak to us about building up our skills. We had reunions. Every year they invite me back to the firm for reunions. At the reunions I get to meet the people that I met all the way back in 2017 when I first interned at BlackRock, and the professionals that still work there. I can send them a message anytime, and I have a cohort of really incredible friends now that are going to be so amazing, and I would never have met them without BlackRock. So I will always credit BlackRock for playing such an instrumental role in my life, and I cannot quantify how incredible these opportunities have been for me. So that's pretty much my BlackRock story. So I just really love the firm. As you can tell, this is not a sponsored post or anything, it's not a sponsored video. If you are interested in BlackRock, then definitely make sure you check them out. Check out their work experience programs and their internships, and if you have any questions then leave a comment down below. Don't forget to connect with me on my other social media channels, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!